And I'm coming live because I'm a slug. You know what I mean? I'm a slug. So it's always a slug fest out here. So crazy thing. Uh, these are my thoughts on the Electron Octatrack Mark II in 2026, which is a long time from the date that it was launched. And I know this is getting old because it's like everybody has a video on the Octatrack. There's like 100,000 videos about it. But since I'm trying to master the thing and I'm trying to I'm trying to become an expert on the Octatrack, it takes time to understand and learn, which is part of the whole deal with that machine. And a lot of people would say that or would think that it's a waste of time. I don't think it's a waste of time because Electron Octatrack is a great machine. You can get the Mark I for cheaper if you're looking for it on the internet. If you don't want to, the only difference between the Mark II and the Mark I, we're talking about balance outputs. That's the main difference, is the balance outputs. The Mark II has balance outputs and the Mark I doesn't have balance outputs. And I believe the encoders are different. They're less responsive. And what else? Is three things. The software is a little bit different too. There are a couple things that it doesn't have. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about the sound because it's one of the most important things of my setup is the sound. And on my setup, I got everything Electron because I found out that Electron has one of the best sounding boxes in the market up to date, which means that it can rival any other machine out there, including the MPC, including the Roller TR1000, and you can talk about all those things. Like I can put a TR1000 versus an Analog Rhythm Mark II, and I could say that it will be as good as or even better than the TR1000. Why? Because you have 8 voices of analog synthesis for drums, and on top of that you get 8 channels of sampling with analog circuitry on each. So every time you load a sample in one of those voices, the sample is running through analog filters, analog amps, and analog compression. So you have like all 3 things necessary to make really good sounding drums. On top of that, you can do like pseudo sample chopping, but the only problem is that there's no time stretch, which is okay because the Analog Rhythm is basically a drum machine. Now the Octatrack, it samples either 16-bit or 24-bit sampling. Right now I'm using it at 24-bit sampling, but I'm gonna start trying to use the 16-bit sampler because it gives it a little bit more grit. Even though the machine at sampling at 24, the sound coming out of that box is very, very, very beautiful. It's weird. It's weird because when you get the Octatrack for the first time, you're gonna feel like it doesn't sound good, like the effects are not good. Like you would think that because it's like they give you a blank canvas, and a blank canvas on the whole sense of the word, because when you load an effect, the effects the effects don't come applied. So you have to get the effect. You have to dial in your what do I think about preparation H? It could last longer sitting down with preparation H. That's what I think. Last longer in your chair, preparation H. Ah, that is funny, bro. Who's that? The whole Milk King. Yo, bro, you're hilarious. Anyways, last longer in your chair. Preparation H. That's cool. That's cool. Preparation H for when you're in the studio. You got Preparation H. Just put a little bit on there and sit down for longer. Yo, that's awesome. So, anyways, back to the Octatrack conversation. Is that in 2026, purchasing an Octatrack is a great investment, either new or pre-owned. I bought mine pre-owned, and the way that the Electron builds their machines, they're solid. It's solid. It's a solid machine. Can't get better than that. Solid machine is just great. All the buttons function. Everything is like if they improve from the first version, and the first version works really good, the second version is gonna be even better. So the Mark II, I say, go to second-hand market, buy the Mark II. I am gonna say something. It's a hot take, and the hot take is that the Octatrack sounds better than an MPC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it sounds better than the newer editions of MPC. I don't know if it sounds better than the MPC 3000 because I never had one. Look at this other guy. But I say that is like, I say that the Octatrack Mark II is better than the current version of MPC because the sound is a different sound. It's a better sound. It sounds more gritty. It sounds more like in your face type of sound. It sounds loud, and it has tons of gain. Like you can gain and gain and gain, and you can, like the Octatrack, you can make it super loud, even though it outputs on Unity. I think it outputs all the way up. I think it's plus 17 dB. It does, it does kill it. You know what I mean? Yeah. What else? Sample chopping made easy. It does give you the lazy chop, the famous lazy chop, up to 64 chops. Then it also has different ways of playing with it. You have you can play your sample as a list, so it'll throw in all your samples that you load up into a list, and those samples get triggered consecutively by number in a list. So you can go by page, and then you can find your different samples, and you can have, like, you can build your template where you have your drum kits or drum loops ready to go. He said that his English is not doog. Yeah, my English is not good neither. I don't give a fuck. I know how to speak my way. So if your English is not good and you're scared of the internet, then don't do it. So I'm not scared of none of y'all. You're not here. Anyways, get the Octatrack. I say get the Octatrack. If you can't get the Octatrack, get a Digitone, a Digitac. The Digitac 1 surprisingly has a plus 22 dB output, so that Digitac 1 has a lot of power under the hood, and I think is also, that's gonna be my next purchase. It's gonna be the Digitac 1, even though they have Digitac 2, and everybody's gonna be like, like, don't buy the Digitac 1, there's already a Digitac 2, you shouldn't do it. And you know what? I think the Digitac 1 has something that the Digitac 2 doesn't have, because of the specs are way different. Yeah, so I think Electron is the way to go at this point in time. Either you go electron, you can go Roland, you'll be good. You can go drum ding from Vermona. That's another piece of hardware that could be, that is a killer right now, is the Vermona drum ding. It gives you a full drum synthesizer that you can sample and replay at will, and it has a very complex uh, sequencer with parameter locking per step and all that stuff like an Electron. But you know, you have those three. You know why I don't talk about Akai? Because if we're gonna talk about Akai at this point in time, if you're gonna go with Akai and you're talking about sound and quality of sound, right? Go with the XL. You can't go with the Live 3 with the one, unless you have an audio interface that you can connect to it that will bring that machine up to the standard of a high quality studio, right? So if you're gonna buy Akai, buy the Akai and buy a really high-end, high quality audio interface for it. Don't just buy the MPC by itself. You can even buy an MPC, the older versions. You buy the older version MPC, and then you buy a high quality. You can get, I'll say, get your RME baby face. That will be a really high-end, pro level, high quality. But then you have, on top of that, you're gonna need a second audio interface, high quality audio interface for your computer. So that's why the machines that are really good sounding out of the box are the best buy, because you know, you don't need to buy an audio interface for it. So the outputs come out really strong into your high quality audio interface. So I say RME. I say, there's so many companies right now. I say RME. I say Audient. That's the one I use. I use Audient ID44, and it sounds really, really good. I love the preamps on it. The preamps sound very good on the microphones, and it has 60 dB of which is not that high. I believe the Audio Apollo goes up to 75 dB. I'm not sure. I don't remember that well. So you have RME, you have Audient, you have Antelope has really good ones, but you want to buy from Antelope, you want to buy high-end Antelope stuff. And then what else? Antelope, you have I like Arturia, but because right now I'm using two Arturia ADAT expanders, and they sound really good on my end, right? They sound really good. Let me see, Arturia, that one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, SSL came out with a new audio interface, which is more on the expensive side, but it's a really, really nice one. And I believe it's an 8-channel one. I recommend that if you're going to go with the MPC. And you know, like I said, like I recommend a high quality audio interface, and then you got to check that it has really good outputs and inputs. Like the inputs, plus 20 dB on input is awesome. It's one of the highest standards, right? I like plus 20 dB on the input and plus 20 dB on the output. That's pretty much 130 decibels of dynamic range on output and 120 decibels on input on dynamic range. That would be great. Me, I'm from Florida, originally from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised there, and I've been living here since 2006. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm here in the United States, by the way. Um, yeah, I say if you go with an MPC, get a high end quality audio interface, and it has to be what's it called? That's there's so many terms on this stuff. I get lost, but uh, what's what's the name? What how you call that? Uh, I forget how it's called, but it is the type of the type, USB audio compliant, something like that. That's what it's called. Anyways, I just don't remember all the terms here. Are you cooking? What cooking? Am I talking about electric? No, uh, I'm talking about groove boxes, samplers, and drum machines. And I'm saying that right now the best money for value on the performance, I say the Electron is the top of the line right now for the price and the performance you get out of that machine. Roland also, if you're gonna go with Roland, you can go with a Roland TR1000, or you can go, actually, people don't know this, a lot of people don't know this, but you can use the Roland, I keep forgetting the name of the TR8S. The Roland TR8S is surprisingly really high end. The Roland TR8S, on top of the fact that it's a drum machine that can play back samples. You gotta understand one thing about the Roland TR8S, and a lot of people don't know this, but the TR8S is an audio interface that works at 192 kilohertz. If I'm not mistaken, I think it works at 192 kilohertz, which is a really high quality audio rate. So the quality of sound on that machine is top notch. The only difference between the TR1000 and the TR8S is that TR1000 has analog circuitry all over the place. So everything goes through an analog filter and an analog amp. And that's why I say if you're gonna go with Roland, go with a TR1000 or a TR8S if you don't have the TR1000. If you can't buy the TR1000, but that's on a drum machine, right? On a sampler, if you want a sampler drum machine at the same time, which is basically a drum machine and a sampler at the same time, I would say the Roland TR1000, right? The Analog Rhythm MK2, those are and the Vermona Drum Ding will be the top 3 highest sounding, highest quality drum machines that you can get at this moment that can sample, that can do the drum machine work, and that can sample. And that's a nice lineup right there. So you got 3 that, Can I talk about life? About what? Well, what can I say about life? When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. How about that one? Things are tough. Every day something happens. Today has been a struggling day. Yesterday and today, I had one of my cars broke down. I called the mechanic yesterday. He wasn't available. He couldn't make it. So I'm here debating whether I should go and rent a vehicle so I can make it to work. And the mechanic comes in this morning. Thank God, because God. If you want to talk about life, let's talk about how God can help you with life. If you feel like you are powerless and you don't have anything else and you have tried everything, Try God for once. Go to a higher power. Ask God to open the way for you, to bring you something, and God will listen to you, man. I'm telling you. Sometimes you tried everything and it doesn't work, right? So try a higher power than yourself, because you can only do so much in life, you know? You want to talk about life? That's life right there. Um, if you want to have a good life, and this I've learned throughout the years, because I'm not like a good baby. Like everybody thinks that, you know, I'm not a good old boy. I've been through it all. I've done it all. So if you're nice to people, and you walk a straight life, to be and to be, um, let's say, it's not being old, because it's not that I'm old. It's that I have my level is higher than yours. That's why. It's not being old. It's that I am at a higher level in my human trajectory. It's not about being old or young. It's about being like experienced, right? Because you can be young and you can learn, but some of the young people, they think they know it all, right? Think they know it all. I did that. I was like that. I thought that I knew it all, and I never listened to my older people or my peers. I never listened to them, and you know, I suffered a lot. I suffered every single step of the way. You know, and it's not everybody else's fault that you're going through shit. You go through shit because you don't listen to anybody. Because the answer is always out there, but we're not capable of absorbing anybody else's opinion on life or anybody else's take on life. It's not about being old or young. It's about being wise or unwise. You're either wise, a wise man, or you're an unwise person, right? And a wise person will take in the information that it can gather from its surrounding and apply it to its own life, right? And when somebody older than you tells you, listen, bro, you need to straighten up your walk, because you're not walking straight. You gotta start walking straight. If you keep walking the way you're walking, you're gonna find yourself twisting an ankle or something. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes. So with nobody learns from that. You know, everybody here on the internet thinks that, you know, young people think that because they're young and they have a little bit more energy, that they have a better chance, and not really, because if you don't have the mindset and you're not up there where you know how really things work in this world, you can end up busting yourself big time, you know. And that's why we have elders. And I am like, I'm 42 years old, and when I don't have an answer for something, I go to my elders and I ask for advice. And that's a smart man move, right? You have elders in your village, and you go to your village elders and ask them, because they already did all the mistakes and all the errors. They already did them, right? So you go ask your elder for some advice, and take that advice to heart and apply it to your life, you know. But you have to beware who gives you the advice too, because there's some snakes out there, right? So, it takes one to know one, right? So if you're not a snake, you will never know who's the snake. But like I said, if you want advice in life, go to your elders and ask them. They have the answers. Don't take them for granted, bro, because they already walked the walk. They already did all the mistakes. All the mistakes you're making now with your girlfriend, all the mistakes you're making at your job, all the mistakes you're making, all these mistakes that you're making every day, and you seem like everybody got you down, and You can never get out of fucking problems, and you can never get over it. There's always an elder that told you already. I swear to God, no, I swear to God, I don't like to say that, but I put it on God, because God says it's written already. They are, somebody already told you, and you dismissed it as nonsense. You see what I mean? And I can only say that because I did that. I took all the advice as nonsense, and I went through life like a animal in the wild, and make the stupidest decisions. And instead of being in a really really good place at this moment in my life, I'm not where I supposed to be, because I didn't listen. I didn't make the right decisions, because I didn't listen to the real knowledge, which is sometimes, and most of the times, is our elders hold the purest knowledge that you can get. And that's pretty much it. And when I tell you that sound is one of the most important things in the music thing, in the music production, it's one of the most important things that you have to worry about. A lot of people say don't worry about it. I say worry about it. Worry about sound, because if you don't get the highest quality sound, you're not gonna be able to compete with the highest quality music out there. And on top of that, you got AI. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'm just saying it from the heart, bro. I'm not trying to talk down anybody. It's not about talking down people. It's about being smart about your life steps. Every time you take a step in life, you gotta make solid steps. You can't make halfway steps. You'll break an ankle. You gotta make solid steps. Every single time you put a step down, you're walking on solid ground every single time. And when you're making decisions out of anger, decisions, especially decisions out of anger, are the worst decisions that you can make in life. Also, this decisions on impulse, and that speaks to me more than anything. I have made decisions about gear and about stuff that I wanna buy, just because I had the impulse. I couldn't control myself, and this has happened a couple times before. And right now, it's not happening anymore, because I learned how to recognize it. But emotions, you can control your emotions. Every human can control its emotions, and you cannot make a decision under anger at all. Decision making while angry in the head, while you're hot, you can't make a decision while you're hot. Is somebody pressuring you at a moment's notice while things are going down and everything is really hot at the moment and it's heated? It's better not to make that decision at that moment. I rather wait another day. Sometimes, before you make an important decision in your life, sleep one day on it. Talk to your higher power and go sleep on it one whole day. That's the other advice I say in life. You want to do something that could be really life changing, and you don't know how to do it. Sleep on it. Sleep on it. Go sleep on it. Wake up the next morning with a fresh brain. You don't need to make decisions under pressure. When you go to a car dealership, they're gonna put you under pressure. Why? Because they put you under the pressure. How they do that? By give you the run around. You go to a car dealership. I want you to do this exercise. Go to a place where they sell something expensive, like a car dealership or something like that. And you go there and look at a car. I think your station is so far. Bro, I work far away from my house. I'm on my way home. I'm on my way to work late because I had an emergency. And When you go to a dealership, you go and sit down and you buy something. They're gonna make you sit down on that lobby after they get you into the car that you like. They sit you in the car, they drive you around, they let you drive the car around, and then they come back and then they sit you on a chair. And the guy that showed you the car and then told you that it's the best car ever and all that stuff, the guy goes and disappears. He will disappear for at least an hour. And he goes and takes care of another customer or does something, goes on break, whatever. You're there and your time is running out and you're starting to feel the pressure. You start to feel the pressure, and the pressure starts building up slowly. And by the time that guy comes back, you're so tired of waiting and so tired of not knowing what's happening and why you can't buy this car and why it's taking so long and why all these things are happening. Why you told, and then even that, you told the guy that you already have cash money and you told them that you're ready to make this purchase, and they give you the runaround. When they come back around, they give you the worst deal of the week. The worst deal. Why do they do that? Because the worst deal is the best deal for them, right? So that's the pressure. And if you take that and you sign that contract of buying that car, that's it. They got you. So, but if you stand up from that chair, the moment they sit you down that chair, you stand back up and leave, and you tell the guy, listen, I'll come back tomorrow, or you just wait under offer. As soon as you get your offer, you get up and leave. Get up and leave, because if it's not a good offer, it's not a good offer. If they don't give you a better offer right away, you just get up and leave. You know what? They already got your information, and they're gonna call you next day with the right deal. And if you don't like that deal the next day, you tell them you don't like that deal, hang up. And then the next time they come, they're gonna bring an even better deal. So if sometimes it's better to just sleep on any decision that you're gonna make. You're asking too many personal questions, and I'm done. I already gave you the life advice. So the other advice is get an auto track, get into Electron or Roland, or there's really great machines out there other than the MPC. And if you're getting an MPC, get the MPC and a high-end quality audio interface for it that is class compliant. Okay, it has to be a class compliant audio interface. Try to get the highest quality audio interface you can get out there, and so that's how it goes, bro. That's how it goes. Get a high quality audio interface with your MPC and you'll be fine. And other than that, that's it. I don't know. I might delete this afterwards, because I think I went long enough talking crap over here. And I've been doing this for the past 2 months with all this hot garbage, like everybody says, hot garbage. It's a brand new garbage in and out. But let's see what happens. So stay tuned. I'm working on stuff on the background. I'm working on new music. It's all gonna come out soon. It's just a matter of time. It takes time. And I promise it's gonna be a better product for this next time around, because I'm taking more time into it. I'm putting in a lot more effort. All right. So I see you.